ECW November to Remember 1997, the final ECW show of the year. Are we going out with a bang? Not really. I mean, it's a monumental show for sure. We got a new ECW champion coming into this event to defend against Shane Douglas. We got Taz defending the TV title. We got a tag team 4-way orgy. We got a TL match. No C, just tables and ladders. A TL match, not TL Hopper. Although the match was pretty shitty. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. This is a weird one. And I'm excited to talk about it with you. Yeah, you. Come here. Come here. Get in here. Hey. It's the Apron Bump Podcast.
It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get it started.
What's up, everybody? What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Apron Bump Podcast. I'm your host, the hardest part of the ring, Kyle. How's everybody doing today? We got a little ECW on our hands today. Extreme Championship Wrestling with, I guess, their marquee show of the year. I don't know if they've really, ever had one. This is the 5th ever November to Remember, so I would kind of appears to be their big show of the year, no? I don't know. Maybe not. You wouldn't really know it from the show, though. There's some good stuff on here. I don't know, we'll get into it. I mean, Taz is great. Everything with that and him. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but he's going to be defending against Pitbull number 2. We got Bam Bam Bigelow, the new ECW champion. We'll talk about how he won the title and the circumstances there, but he's defending against the man he took it from, Shane Douglas. The triple threat has exploded, folks. So more on that at 8. But yeah, and again, outside of that, kind of your typical ECW-isms. We got the Dudleys, we got Chris Candido, we got Jerry Lynn, Rob Van Dam, RVD versus Tommy Dreamer in a flag match. More flag matches. I feel like I can't stop talking about flag matches on this program. But we have one. Is it better than the Bad Blood 1997 one? Well, you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out. And of course, Sabu, Sandman, maybe the most significant thing on this show for a variety of reasons, most of which are not positive. But maybe I'm wrong. But I was talking about ECW and WWF and comparing the two things. I think that's a great segue to tell you to stay tuned to the end of the podcast, where the hardest promotion battle of 1997 continues. WWF versus WCW versus ECW. We'll get into all of the nitty-gritty, all of the scoring, but it's based on in-ring, out-of-ring, pay-per-view quality, storylines, characters, matches, all of it. We'll get into it. As of right now, WCW still has a firm lead, but will ECW overcome them based on this show? We'll just have to find out. And whoever has the most points at the end of 1997 earns themselves a purchase of a championship belt from yours truly. As you can see behind me, we have the old Intercontinental Championship from 1996, as WWF was hardest in 1996. Who will be hardest in 1997? Well, again, stay tuned and you'll find out. But with that, let's get into this bad boy. But not before I give a major shout out to my guest, JT, Mr. 6'9", hopping back on the program. Go check out the Marks with Mike's podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as live on YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff, Twitter, all of that stuff. They do a lot of fun stuff there, talking the current product and kind of just whatever comes to mind. They put their own spin on this wacky genre of pro wrestling. One of my favorite pods out there. So make sure you go give them a listen. I'll put all of their info in the description below. It's always a wonderful time having JT on the show. But with that, and yeah, whatever, follow me if you want at Apron Bump on all the social medias. Subscribe to the video if you're not already. Give it a like. If you're listening in audio, give it a 5-star rating and maybe a review. Tickle in the belly button. Slap me on the face. Call me Sally. Do all of those things. And that would make me a very, very happy boy. But with that, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get into it, shall we? ECW, November to Remember, 1997. With myself and JT. From the Marks with Mike's podcast. I don't know how I didn't hurt myself. You know how it be, right? Although you were probably like 7 foot tall when you were 10, so you probably couldn't do all that wrestling.
I don't know. At 10, to be honest, I was like a good 5'10".
At 10, okay.
Yeah.
What is that like? Is that 5th grade?
Yeah, 5th grade. Yeah.
That's pretty big. Pretty big.
Every class photo, like I'm next to the teacher, or I'm in the back. Like the class photos be looking like I'm on the teacher stand. Like that's
I'm
that's
the teacher now.
Yes, at a special desk. Like, oh, you're too big to sit on the right. No, literally. Like everyone had, like you remember back in school, like you had the desk, you kind of swooped inside there.
Yeah.
No, I had my own special desk. Like I was next to the teacher, not because I was bad. It was because they had to give me a real desk.
Look at this guy over here, everybody. Look how wacky he looks. Ah, man. That's tough. I mean, I guess it's, being tall is not a bad thing, I guess. At least it's not like you need to get a wider desk or anything, So
just my knees, bro. My knees were hitting.
Right, yeah. The blessing and a curse. But man, not a lot of tall folks on this show we're talking, huh?
Nah.
I don't think so, right? Who's the tallest guy on this show, we think?
Definitely not Taz.
There's a lot of just dwarves on this show, like Chris Candido and Jerry Lynn. I mean, Rob Van Dam, I think it's kind of like underrated tall.
Yeah, he's was he like a good 6'1"?
I would guess like 6'3". Let's see here.
I remember standing next to him, lighting up his blunt or whatever, but I didn't like measure height. I was like, here's the lighter.
Yeah, that'd be a weird call to like break out a measuring tape and.
So yeah, how tall are you? Mike's like, no time for conversation, just like this.
Allegedly 6 feet. So he's probably the only above 6 foot guy other than Big Dick. So, but nonetheless, man, I appreciate you hopping on here talking some old school wrestling because you were more of the WCW guy back in the day, right?
Yeah, I was a WCW guy, and then never forget it. Stayed the night at my auntie Net house. My cousin Courtney, he had like these videotapes where he would just record stuff on pay-per-view. I don't know if he would record or he had the tape, what have you. Puts in an ECW tape. And there was my love for ECW.
Ooh. Well, do you remember what show that was?
Oh man, I can't name the show, but I can name one of the moments. Shout out to Too Cold Scorpio for the follow and everything. But the match I remember seeing, it was Too Cold Scorpio versus Sabu. And Rob Van Dam came down and they were jumping Too Cold Scorpio, right?
Right.
Out came the Sandman. Sandman comes in, has his back. After that, they get the rain cleared and Too Cold Scorpio grabs the mic. He says, if there's ever one person that had my back in ECW, it was the Sandman. They cracked some beers. They started dancing the Jungle Boogie, bro. I was hooked. After that, yeah, that was it. That's all it took, that moment.
I mean, that's about as good as it gets. Sandman dancing the Jungle Boogie. I don't blame you. I mean, that was probably like late 96, mid 96, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time. Well, Flash Funker, not on this show, though, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So November to Remember, 1997. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this like their like marquee pay-per-view? Like almost like their WrestleMania of sorts?
I want to say it was up there because it was the 5-year annual. So yeah, I'll put that there.
Probably like the longest tenured show. Yeah.
Or barely legal.
Barely League. I think they only did one of those because that was their first pay per
That was
view.
their first one. I mean, but that was a coming out party, I guess you could say.
Sure. Well, I don't know about you. This didn't really feel like the any kind of coming out party to me. I mean, it was a fine show, I guess. I mean, it's very ECW to its core. I wouldn't call it one of their stronger shows. There's a couple things in particular about this show that was very head scratching. But overall, before we get in, before we dig into it, well, what did you think of this show?
It was a fun show for what it was. That crowd was not letting up. They were heavy with the boos,
Pittsburgh,
and the tomatoes. I was like, God damn, you can't get
right out the gate too, which we'll talk about.
No, it was a fun show, but like, you know, I just didn't. I didn't like some of the things. Like, I mean, I get it, the Pitbull #2 thing, but we'll talk about that later.
It's just. It was a wacky one. So, I mean, I think we should just get right into it, man. So we're in, I forget what the exact city it's in, but it's right outside of Pittsburgh. So it's Pittsburgh, basically. And apparently it's the biggest crowd in ECW history up to this point, which I should have looked it up. It's probably like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 maybe. But man, you have this big show. We're on pay-per-view. I believe it's like their third pay-per-view. We're red hot here. Who better to kick off the show than Tommy Rogers? Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. And just to give you the attendance on that, man, 4,634, their largest crowd.
Ooh, all right. Double what I thought. That's impressive. I like it. But I mean, the whole reason I brought you on here is because like you're like the resident Tommy Rogers mark. Like in the community, like you're the stan of Tommy Rogers and the Fantastics. He's, I mean, Joey Styles. Like so we got Tommy Rogers versus Chris Candido kicking us off here. It's just like a wrestling match. Joey Styles claims that Tommy Rogers is the most underrated at this point in time. Which, look, from my understanding, him and the Fantastics, him and Bobby Fulton, I haven't really watched a lot of their matches, if any, so maybe I'm not the most educated, but I wasn't too this didn't blow me out of the water, to say the least. What did you think about this one?
Listen, it didn't blow you out the water, and it damn sure ain't blow the fans out the water. They were
boring chants right away.
Boring, boo, get them out of here. Like, God damn. And I wasn't expecting that for Candido. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the music hit, the bell hits. And then after the bell, it's like, you got to dance with Tommy Rogers. That wasn't a good dance. No.
No, this was, yeah, I mean, it was just too generic. I mean, I like Chris Candido, to your point though. I mean, him and Tommy Rogers, it was a fine little match, but I think the ECW crowd, like, I know they did a lot of like the pure wrestling stuff, especially with like, although I think that would be more like the cruiserweight style wrestling that that crowd appreciated more so than this like almost like Southern, like Memphis, like a grab a hold, let's build up to a comeback type of thing. I don't think this met the right audience.
No.
But I don't know anything in particular. I do like, because it was a slow build up, which the crowd did not appreciate. But like once they got them, it was like, okay, they kind of built up to something. They had like the chop off. We had some superplexes. Candido, it's a Frankenstein
outside apron.
Dude, this match was in slow motion, and then all of a sudden he's just suplexing this guy off the apron to the floor. It's like, what the hell? But ultimately, who even? Oh, no one wins this one because at some point Lance Storm slides in. I guess the newest member of the Triple Threat with Shane Douglas and Chris Candido. He gets in there and beats up on Rogers with Chris Candido. They gang up on him. And then a very young Jerry Lynn makes the save. And everybody, it's a whole schmoz. Everybody's diving to the outside. And then the ref grabs the mic and he's like, hey, everybody, we got another Tommy Rogers match coming up. Aren't we all excited? So he makes it a tag team match, playa. And so we got Candido and Storm versus Lynn and Rogers. And at this point, I mean, these were all like outside of Candido, all pretty like lesser known guys here, but I enjoyed it once it kind of became the tag match. What you think about it?
It was definitely a slow build. I don't know. There was an audible, like, oh, audible. Tommy's not getting over. It's like, y'all get out there, save it,
Lance,
damn it.
He just happened to be there. Lance, get out there.
No, but no. Once we got to the tag match, okay, now we got a little bit of ingredients inside this. Now I'm a little bit more invested because I was with the crowd. Like I enjoy like a good build. But for your opening match, you want to come off the gate. Like you don't want to. What was worse is that Joey Styles said, "This is one that I predict is going to steal the show." No.
Yeah, he probably wants that one back.
Only thing that match did was steal time off my life. That's all. That's all it did. Like, and RIP, of course, Chris Candido. Like, I'm just saying for this particular match, it wasn't my best Chris Candido match.
Yeah, well, Tommy Rogers unfortunately has also passed. So, but no RIP to him. Like, fuck that guy. So, no, yeah. Honestly, the only thing of note here really is that I found out where Christian got his finisher, the Tamikaze, which I've heard him in an interview somewhere where he said he was watching some guy in Japan do this move, and he ended up kind of tweaking it a little bit, and that became the unprettier. And we have old Tommy Rogers here doing the Tamikaze onto Lance Storm, which is it was kind of like a clunkier version almost. But ultimately, though, it does not get the win. Chris Candido with the Northern Lights to Tommy for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I see like the idea, like you want to warm up the crowd, but it's you threw some ice on them, I think, rather than heat them up.
Yeah. If I'm in the crowd at that time in that year, I'm throwing tomatoes. Thank God for the end. The end saved it.
Oh, not the tomatoes. Not the tomatoes. Well, speaking of tomatoes, we got a couple of tomato cans in this next match. We got Mikey Whipwreck versus Justin Credible. Thoughts?
Unbiased. Okay, let's go.
Hey, I ordered his book and it's on the way. Just incredible. It's on the way. And honestly, because Justin Credible's here with Jason. I don't know if he has a last name. It's just Jason. I couldn't stop looking at Jason. I don't know what the shirt was so tight. What are we doing, Jason?
Both Bagwell tight.
Wow, that's a good call. It was his long lost brother, Jason Bagwell. That must be who it was.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I really had not. This was another. It was almost like a even less or like a more underwhelming match than the previous one. It was just like it was there. We got to see like a nice top rope whippersnapper, aka the Stunner, for Mikey Whipwreck to get the win over old JC here. But not a lot to this one. Like, I'm kind of surprised Mikey beat Just because they were because Justin Credible's newly debuted, and I figured they want to build him up, but takes the L to the underdog. What do you think of this one?
Congratulations, Mikey. Thank you. No, but listen, he had the undefeated streak. Eventually, it had to come to an end. Who better than do it than a Triple Crown champion? Okay, talk about Mikey. You know what I'm saying? Triple Crown. So, if anything at that point, it probably validates Justin Credible. Not to compare to make it seem like I'm saying this person like this person, but that's like when which streak was the latest one that got broke?
Like modern day.
Modern day was it Jade who got a streak broke in AEW? Oh
yeah. Like Chris Statlander.
Okay, so it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Basically breaking that streak. Somebody had to do it. Not to say that it was the best match, but it's all about your dancing partner, right? At the end of the day.
Did you not like the dance?
Oh, no. The dance was okay. I just didn't like the match. Like them two together. Like it was good. it was good as far as what they were throwing off, but far as me, like that pairing for that match, nah, I didn't like it. I mean, great match, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Do you think, because obviously Stone Cold at this point is red hot, do you think that they're throwing Mikey out there just to get a win with a stunner to try to capitalize on the? Yeah.
what Mikey had one of the best stunners in the game.
What about Disco Inferno and the Chart Buster?
Okay, now Disco had a nice stunner, but Disco wasn't doing it at 300 pounds off the top rope. You know what I'm saying? That one off the top. That one off the top rope is dangerous. Not many people was doing that, bro. Mikey was like, all right, there's only two people that I associate the stunner with, like, to be for real. That's Stone Cold and that's Mikey. That's it. Anyone else, I can't associate it with you, because those are the two people that caught my attention with that move, like the execution of it. Like, you made you believe. You know what I'm saying? As a child, as a grown man, of course.
Yeah,
it's
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I guess it's just funny to see how, like, singular moves, like when the Diamond Cutter got over. Now all of a sudden everybody's doing the cutter. Fucking Bubba Ray Dudley's doing the cutter. You got Triple H doing the cutter. Like, it's crazy how a move can just get over by itself and everybody just copies it. Which, you know, people to this day still copying moves, but I guess there's only so many things you can do. So
yeah, there's only so many things you can do, but it's all about execution, baby. If you execute it right, like, perfect example, The Rock doing the sharpshooter, the worst shit ever. Yeah, and I love The Rock, but that's not the best looking sharpshooter. Execution is everything, baby.
Yeah, sure. So is it Mikey or Stone Cold? Who has the better stunner?
See, you gonna put me on the spot like that? That's what we're doing, Kyle. That's what
I know. This is the headline. This is gonna be sweeping the nation, so you better choose your words carefully.
Oh man, you got me out here like LeBron with Decision Day. I decided to take my talents with the best stunner to Stone Cold.
That's fair.
That's the GOAT right there. Like, you can't, you know, Mikey had a devastating one, but when you think stunner, the first name that pops up is Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though it was around since the Ace Crusher.
Right.
No one's executed it like this.
Well, they did show the video package of Mikey beating Steve Austin at November to Remember 1995, although Steve wasn't doing the stunner at that point, so maybe that was the variable he was missing. If he was doing the stunner, he would have beat him, babe. Is that what you're saying?
Listen, if you had that stunner back when he was stunning Steve Austin in the Hollywood Blondes, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely.
He had the stun gun, right? That's pretty good too, right? Little flapjack on the rope. What a shitty finisher, the stun gun. Eat my ass, Steve. Come on now. You figured it out, I guess, but good grief. Good grief. Well, from there, we move on to Head. We go backstage.
Nice segue.
On the King of them. This is the earliest I can remember seeing Head. I don't know if you know of an earlier time. I know Al Snow, he just recently left the WWF and his run with Leif Cassidy. And in ECW, he's acquired this new character of being unhinged. He's smashing his head on all the lockers. He's making all these references to, like, the Montreal screw job that just happened and the NWO, like the Job Squad shirt he's wearing now for life, like all these references to these other companies. There's a lot going on with this segment. I don't even know how to explain it with words. I feel like I just stepped into, like, a middle of an episode. You know what I mean? It's like, what happened here? How did we get here? But I don't know. Do you have any notes on it?
Great storytelling. First of all, that was a perfect segue, right? That was the first time that I was introduced to Head. Okay.
It was many years later.
First time on television. Let's go ahead and let's get that corrected. I don't want y'all to think in 97 I was a fast little boy out here. You know, 97 I was 10. I wouldn't even think about that. I was more into Power Rangers. Like, but
I mean, I was 4. I barely had a head. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, man. Like no, but I love the transition into it. It's the first introduction of Head and Al Snow. Al Snow's talking to Head, and you got everyone in the back, got the Blue Meanie in the background, like the BWO's back there. And we get the transition. What got me was Joey Styles. Like what Joey said once he got back from the segment. Al Snow was back there getting Al Snow was back there with some head or something like that, and it's like, oh man, come on.
Fucking Joey Styles, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, best play-by-play guy. By the way, no one calls a match like Joey Styles.
I can't disagree, man. Doing this solo, that's no joke. No joke. But man, speaking of which, we got his future partner here in this next match, defending the TV title, the champion Taz versus Pitbull number 2, accompanied by Pitbull number 1, Lance Wright, and Brakkus.
The fucking names.
The fuck is Brakkus doing here? Why is he? I know his brief run in WWF as like a gladiator or some shit, but he's just here as like Timu Terminator. Brakkus. You big Brakkus guy?
Brakkus sounds like something the doctor tells you that you caught. Like it's like, listen, we have to sit down, we have to talk. We ran your results. You have Brakkus. Oh no. No, go ahead.
And it's not curable. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it might as well have been though, because man, where do we even begin here? So the Pitbulls, they're kind of running with the story that they're off to WWF after this. And I don't know if that's legit. I think they had some matches on like Shotgun Saturday Night or something, but they never really materialized in anything. And they're here, Pitbull number 2, Pitbull Bald, taking on Taz here. I will say it's a very quick match, to say the least. I would guess less than 60 seconds. But Pitbull, the offense that he got, I didn't hate it. I think I might be a big Pitbull guy. What'd you think about this dude?
Yeah, I'm a real big Pitbull guy if he's performing on stage. No,
that's not the Pitbull Bald I'm talking about. JT.
Oh, I know. You're not talking about Pitbull, Mr. International. No, Pitbull number 2, big stocky guy, right? Like when the camera first pans on him, I thought it was Prince Albert from the back, right? So,
that's a good call, yeah.
And I was like, oh no, it's Pitbull number 2. And the offense that he got some hand mocks on him, bro. Got some hand mocks on him.
It's like an early Ryback of sorts, maybe.
I'll give you that.
All due respect to Pitbull, but yeah, he's like an early Ryback. I mean, a pretty nice looking power bomb here, a little spinning heel kick from the dog. Come on now. A little flying shoulder block off the top rope, looking pretty crisp.
Now that power bomb was nice. It was crispy, nice and crispy. Like he did throw good power bombs. That's one thing I will say. Like he'll pull that shit out of nowhere.
Yeah, he was kind of chaotic. He was kind of similar to like Goldberg, where it's like, 50% of the time it looks really good, but the other 50%, oh yikes, he might be causing some CTE. But he got lucky here, I guess. But ultimately, well, not too lucky, because right after that, Taz belly to belly, T-bone suplex, Taz mission, tap out. Very quick match, but I didn't hate it. That made Taz look like a monster. Is very, very Goldberg-esque in a way. Just a quick squat, not really a squash, because there was kind of offense on both sides. But I kind of enjoyed this for what it was. What did you think about it ultimately?
Ultimately, I'm gonna go back to your point of the Goldberg type of thing. Like that was the presence. That's what you got out of Taz. So it was a good match to establish the character. But if you're expecting like a long match, being a first time watcher, like I could have told you, first of all, Taz is all of what 5'2", 5'3". I don't know, but anytime I see like a little guy inside of not to call him a little guy, but anytime I see like a opponent that is not as tall as the other, automatically I'm rooting for the little guy, right? Going into that match, Taz is about to choke somebody out. That's his MO. And have you ever seen a spider monkey jump on someone's back? They choke him out.
So Taz the Spider Monkey. Is that his nickname?
No. Don't do that. We're gonna let him keep the Tasmanian devil.
If I see Taz ever, do I call him a Spider Monkey? Will he take kindly to that?
I don't think he'll take too kindly for that. Matter of fact, I apologize for my outbursts. Next.
Cut that. But yeah, no, it was good stuff. I mean, Taz is one of, like, in my opinion, one of the coolest characters ECW's got at this point. Like, very
super over.
Oh yeah, ahead of his time too, with like the MMA influence and just, I mean, like you said, he's a little guy, but he comes off like a monster, which is like just by being what. Here's my question: what does Taz have, or what did Taz have that Hook does not have?
Bro, that is the $1 million question, and I swear if I answer this right now, if it works, we're gonna be rich. Mystique. Right. He does not have that mystique, and that's the thing about it. Like, he can wrestle, but I think people always use the word fumble, but they mishandle the way they introduced him. I think they put him out there a little bit too early.
Sure, me. Yeah.
And I think, instead of trying to chase the moment, we should have been like really developing in the back. You know what I'm saying? To kind of give him the cues, the P's, and hey, the camera presence. To how do we make you believable on the microphone? And that's the thing about it. Like, they could have did that, but that whole debacle they have with the faction with Taz and Hook and Hobbs and who else was in it? Starks,
yeah. Brian Cage, I think.
Brian Cage, like all that, like that wasn't a good way to put him in there. Like, for me, I would have kept him on TV for a while until we were ready. We know he's ready. You know what I'm saying? And then his legacy. Like, if it's the legacy thing that you're looking for, like what they're doing with Steve Borden, Sting's son, I like what they're doing with them as far as developing him, but they're not, I don't think they gave that full focus development on Hook when he first debuted. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, no, that's a really good point. Like Steve Borden, they're kind of like slow roasting him a little bit. They put him in the crock pot, let him cook.
You gotta let him cook.
Hook, they just threw him on the cast iron for a minute, like, all right, here, eat it. And it's raw. It doesn't taste good. So, but yeah, I think Taz was just so much better at like getting his message across on the mic. Like, I don't even know if I could say he's a good talker, but he's a good promo. Like, he has this intensity behind him. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see in time if Hook kind of finds that mystique, as you mentioned, but
it's in there, bro. It's in there. Like, I can see it. It's there, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he's super young.
Yeah. 1 minute and 30 seconds was that time for that match.
Woo! That's all you need. There's probably more time spent looking at Brakkus after the match. Yeah, you thought I forgot about Brakkus. No, we're back to Brakkus.
Hey, fellas, make sure you go get checked for Brakkus.
Taz, he grabs the mic after the match, after he chokes out Pitbull. He looks at Lance. He's like, hey, Lance, looks like you brought your boyfriend. Referencing Brakkus. And clearly a present from Vince McMahon. Clearly a guy that sticks needles up his ass. Because Taz got him. And Brakkus gets on the apron. Him and Taz have a little stare down. But 2 security guys get in between them, and I guess that's enough to break this up. And then Taz attacks the security guy, which I'm curious how you think about this execution of Taz beating up a security guy.
Does my face say it all? No.
When you're in a street fight with somebody, when you're squaring up to somebody at like a bar or something, do you throw a drop toe hold?
Not at all, man. Like if I'm squaring up, like I'm throwing hands, like a drop toe. What are we doing? This some ninja type shit? Like it's the Matrix?
He's a spider monkey. That's what they do, I guess, right?
Back to Spider Monkey. This guy. Next thing I know, I'm gonna have Taz calling me out on the tweet.
Hey, brother, I hear you burying me on the podcast, or however he talks. I'll do a New York accent. But yeah, no, he dropped toe holds the security guy and like just like cross-face clubs like very slowly, and then gets into the choke. Like he should have just like grabbed him, suplexed him, then choked him. That should have been it. I think he got a little too cute with it, but
he was trying to establish that, you know, that dominance. Little guy syndrome, you know.
Little. Every time you call him a little guy, he just gets more and more angry. He's somewhere. He feels it. He doesn't like it. Taz does. So you better watch out.
Taz the GOAT, man.
yeah. You can't backtrack now, man. Can't backtrack
now. Backtracking. I've been saying Taz the greatest ECW champion the whole time.
That's not how I'm gonna edit this.
Hey, that's the first person to bring the ECW title to WWF TV.
Oh, is that right?
Or was that Shane Doug? No, I don't think Shane Douglas bought the ECW title to WWF.
I'm trying to think if anybody had it like when they invaded Raw in '97.
Ooh.
It would have either been Shane Douglas or who else was champion this year? I don't remember. Raven, maybe? Sandman?
I think Raven.
I don't think anybody ever brought the title to TV. So yeah, you might be right there. You might be right about Taz. But man, we got a very stereotypical ECW match on our hands next. We got the tag team titles on the line in a 4-way dance elimination match.
God damn, it's a lot of people.
Take a deep breath here. We got the FBI, comprised of Little Guido and Tracy Smothers, versus the team of Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney, versus the Dudley Boys, versus the Gangstonators, John Cronus and New Jack. I mean, where do we even begin here? Like the pre-match. What'd you think about the pre-match with the FBI jaw jacking with the Dudley introduction? I mean, how'd this make you feel?
Listen, I was a huge fan of the FBI. Love Tracy Smothers. Love Lil Guido.
Goats.
Like, you know, that's one thing I will say. When it came to the mic skills and getting under the skin of the crowd, they did that. So I enjoyed the whole segment. I really did. I'm big on jaw jacking with the crowd. If you can jaw jack and, you know, talk shit and get the crowd buying it, I love it. But Pittsburgh, once again, tough crowd.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And they I don't think they were big fans of Joel Gertner either. The what do you call himself? The muff stuffer?
The central stud muffin.
What was sensual about what he did? About stuffing muffs?
I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't there. No Diddy, no baby oil wasn't there.
There was some baby oil going on, I think. I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know if it's the same concoction. But yeah, don't know. But yeah, Joel, as per usual, introduces each individual Dudley guy, including Sign Guy Dudley. The silence behind the violence. All right, you got it, Joel. So the FBI and the Dudley boys are out there, and then Axel and Balls come out through the crowd with steel chairs, smash them all. And we're off to the races, and there's a little bit of fighting before the Gangsternators come out. But once Natural Born Killers hits the mic or hits the speakers, we're off to the races. New Jack, Cronus. Whew. This is, weapons, brawling all around the arena, guitars, cheese graters, mailboxes. This is everything you could want in ECW, is it not? You're muted.
My soul was fed. My soul was fed, man. Another person that I got hooked on first ECW pay per view. It was New Jack and Spike Dudley coming down to fight the Dudleys and
Interesting.
Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney.
Okay. All right.
But yes, I enjoyed it. Anytime you hear natural born killers, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, you know it's about to be some shit, bro. Like New Jack should have been locked up a long time ago. Okay, I'm just saying, like New Jack did not give a fuck, and he made you believe. Even going back watching this, bro, I believed it. Like, man, he really fucked him up.
Those guitar shots, man. Whew.
Man, he was swinging for the fences.
What the hell was in those guitars? It was like a puff of white smoke every time he smashed somebody with them.
I have no idea, but obviously, I don't think they were all real guitars. I mean, first of all, yeah, those guitars would be expensive. Come on, think about it. But I don't know. Maybe it was like, sheet wood, like very, very thin wood, or and you smash it, it turns it to dust.
Right. I mean, the most aesthetically pleasing weapon shot of all time. It just the wood shatters, there's smoke everywhere. It was just, I could watch that all night. It was great stuff. Including a top rope guitar shot from New Jack to Tommy Rich. I mean, it's just, we got, again, cheese graters. We got Cronus throwing out 450 splashes. Chaos everywhere, blood flowing. But ultimately, well, not ultimately, but the first elimination comes when Cronus goes to the top rope to do a 450 onto Bubba. But little Guido throws the Italian flag in the face of Cronus, which shakes him, gets him off balance, and he falls forward right into a Bubba cutter from Bubba Ray Dudley, and he pins him. Bubba eliminates the Gangstonators. I like that because, like, you see that a lot nowadays with like people flying into cutters. But the way they set this up here, it's like it made sense in him like losing his balance and accidentally falling into it. I enjoyed that portion of it. What did you think about it?
He fell into that thing perfectly.
So smooth.
It was smooth as butter on a hot steak coming off the grill. Listen, that thing was smooth. That's another underrated person that had a nice cutter too, bro. Bully
Bubba.
Ray.
Yeah,
Bubba Ray Dudley had a nice cutter, bro. Very nice cutter. But I loved it. Of course, I didn't like the fact that the Gangstonators went out first. But then again, this was a hard match because all these tag teams are like legit the shit, bro. Like for me, man, I enjoyed all these tag teams. I mean, who didn't like the Dudleys with Big Dick Dudley and Sign Guy Dudley, and like I enjoyed all that, bro. So I definitely enjoyed that portion of the match. Now, elimination number 2, though.
well,
that's the one.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the Gangstonators get eliminated, and then the music just stops, which is very funny. It was just a weird like shift in energy, but it makes sense. Like they're out of here. Like, why would you keep playing their music? Bubba grabs balls. Pause. So that Gertner can, I guess, channel Mr. Fuji and throw some white dust in his face. But Balls gets out of the way, and the dust goes in the eyes of Bubba by accident, and somehow Bubba's blind, and he accidentally helps Axel give the 3D to Devon with the help of Bubba, which I adored. I thought that was sensational stuff.
Man, that moment was cool. I enjoyed it. Like, classic Dudley Boys, classic ECW. Just classic. Definitely enjoyed the Mr. Fuji reference that you did there. Good thing it was just, dust and wasn't anything else. Because if it was anything else, he'd probably been a lot quicker to the draw. But I will say that, Devon Dudley catching the 3D was hilarious.
I mean, that's so good. I don't know why they never did this again. Maybe they did do it again. I don't know. But yeah, it was very creative finish. I mean, both eliminations thus far have been very creative.
Have they done that spot in WWE at all?
I'm sure. Call in somebody if you know of one. I can't think of one off the bat, but don't know. But that just leaves us with the FBI, the current champions, walking into this match, and Balls and Axel. And I did not expect these two teams to be the final two, but they're going at it. Balls hits the Nutcracker Sweet onto Guido, but in doing this, Guido's feet knocks out the ref, John Finnegan. Another referee comes in, Jeff Jones, who I guess is a bit of a crooked ref because he goes to make the count to count out Guido, but then he stops at 2 to go check on the other ref. Balls goes over to Jeff. He's like, hey, ref, you got to make the count, do your job. And then Jeff Jones gives Balls a low blow. My goodness. And then Guido rolls him right up. Fast count. 1, 2, 3. They retain. The FBI still champs. And all due to crooked Jeff Jones. I mean, not like this. Crooked ref. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I thought Nick Patrick was crooked. No, but no, I liked it. I guess the FBI called in a favor. One of those things.
Is that what happened? I see. That makes sense.
Could have been one of those. Maybe Jeff Jones owed them a favor. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was in, and he kind of owed the FBI.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So who knows it? But yeah, that whole spot, like I was pissed because I was really pulling for a title change. I've always been a fan of, especially with the tag team titles, like move the pieces around the chessboards. Every
Sure.
so often. That way everyone's getting that shine and getting over. But at the end of the day, right call. I mean, FBI are the hills. So
yeah, and like you were mentioning, like with them, chirping at the crowd, like they're such good heels, they're so easily hateable. All of them just have very punchable faces. Tracy Smothers on the outside, or not Tracy Smothers. What's Tommy Rich on the outside? Everybody's always getting on him. So they're heat magnets, and but they're fun to watch in the ring too. So yeah, I didn't hate it. It was a very chaotic match, but I guess the best of the show so far up to this point. So who am I to say? But then it cuts to some footage from earlier in the day, a few hours ago, where Tommy Dreamer and his lady Beulah show up to the arena. Tommy informs us that he's not 100%. He's not even 50%. He's got a torn shoulder and a broken heel, but he's here to fight to protect the name of ECW. In this next match, we got a flag match on our hands here. Tommy Dreamer versus Rob Van Dam. And you might be saying to yourself, well, they're both American. What flag are they in? No, it's ECW versus WWF. I was expecting, when I saw this on the card, I thought there was going to be poles on the opposite corners. You know what I mean? Because you got to go up the pole and grab your flag, but there's no poles to be had. Poleless flag match. But I guess you get to wave the flag of your respective company at the end, which is the deal. If I have that right.
Yeah. I didn't like. First of all, Rob Van Dam comes in as basically he's a heel, but he's not a heel because ECW love him so much, like the fans. But, from a story perspective, flag match. We're doing the flag match. Would that be the first ever Forbidden Door?
Ooh, I mean, yeah, the ECW and WWF, that was a door that was open that people were walking through. So I would say so. First, I can really remember.
I mean, if you want to count the New Japan stuff with WCW, we can do that. But
sure, I guess. I mean, you could probably go back to the 30s when Hick and Gotch and fucking Ric Flair were wrestling. You know what I mean? So
the 30s, Ric Flair.
Yeah. I mean, I think so, right? I think he was about 10 years in at that point.
Happy birthday, Ric Flair, man!
Yeah, happy 200th birthday. So we got So Rob Van Dam comes in here, waving the flag of the World Wrestling Federation. Mr. Monday Night, RVD is. He's had a few matches on Raw, but and he's claiming that he's going to go there at some point, but it takes him a while to get there. But that's basically what we're running with here against Tommy Dreamer, who is Mr. ECW, defending the honor of the brand here. And I think I enjoyed this match. There was some more hullabaloo at the end here, but the match itself, especially with Tommy Dreamer being injured, I thought this kind of over-delivered here. I mean, RVD, Tommy Dreamer, both are like arguably Mount Rushmore guys in ECW. Absolutely. So, you know, you're going to get at least something special. But as far as the match, I guess, you know, pre stuff at the end here, what did you think about it?
Like I said, the match itself, we didn't need a flag match. We just keep the flags out of it. Like, we just could have just had a match.
Keep the flags out of it. No flags here. I agree with you, JT.
Like, you know, y'all could have just had a match representing the brands. Like, we ain't have to fly no flags. Like, this ain't the Daytona 500. Like, we ain't got to fly no flags at the end of this.
Well, if you're gonna do a flag match, make it a flag match. Have a poll. That's all I ask. Is there's a poll, 2 polls.
Wasn't no damn polls. Like, I understand, like, budget, but y'all could have went to Home Depot, got a pipe, and cut that shit out. And
some PVC.
Yeah, you could have. You know, pause on getting the pipe, but you could have, you could have went to Home Depot, got the necessary tool, got some taped it around there, put the flag in there, boom,
stick it right in there, stick that pipe right in there. I'm with you.
Hey yo,
come on now. No, but like early RVD here, especially. I mean, I love watching him because he just does shit like for no reason, but it's like, because like there's one point where Tommy's in the corner, like sitting in the corner. He has a chair in front of his face. RVD like springs off the top rope in that corner, moonsaults back in, lands on his feet to drop kick. Like the moonsault didn't add any impact to that. He's just doing it to be a dick. But I do like that part of his character. Like just the physics don't match up, Rob. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, Rob was out there just doing shit, but you know, Rob was also high during his matches.
Good point. Good point.
But he wrestled very well. I mean, it doesn't get any better than the 2 classic ECW guys. When you think ECW, like you said, Mount Rushmore, you got to have Tommy on there, hands down, and you got to have RVD. Like those are synonymous.
Yeah.
And we gotta throw in Taz. Back to Taz.
Although there's another match on this card that has 2 other Mount Rushmore guys on it, which is not as good. At least I don't think. Maybe you disagree, but we'll see.
No, not at all.
But yeah, so they're going at it here. Some good stuff. Some fighting on the outside. I think both guys are bleeding at some point. Rob is taking some brutal bumps here. The top rope hung DDT from Tommy Dreamer, spiking him on his head. We got road signs coming into play. We got chair shots. Dreamer hits a chair or hits Rob with the chair, makes the pin. Referee makes the count, but that goddamn referee, Jeff Jones, is back, breaks up the pin. He's beating up on this ref. While he's doing that, a third ref comes in. Dreamer hits Rob with something else. He makes the pin. That third ref starts to count, but then Jeff Jones, who's still there, he breaks up the count again. Like, who's this? Is everybody paying this guy off? This guy's making bank. Beulah gets in there. Finally, somebody to take care of this guy. Low blows Jeff Jones. And then the other 2 referees that were there give a double DDT to that ref. And then they both do the Tommy Dreamer pose afterwards. And then Bill Alfonso gets in there. A guy who used to be a ref. Double low blow to these 2 refs. And then Beulah gets in and low blows him. I mean, this is maybe my best. Maybe that's probably the peak of the show. This moment right here. Just the chain of low blows. I love it.
Signature move, man.
Oh, yeah. And Rob grabs Beulah. But Dreamer saves her, rolls up Rob Van Dam. Beulah makes the count, but I don't think she has a referee license, so it doesn't count. But then Dreamer with a gigantic pile driver to RVD, sending him the recoil of that pile driver, sends him to the moon.
I was scared for his neck.
Dude, I've seen that clip over the years. It's just crazy how he sells that. It is beautiful. And then Dreamer hits him with a DDT, and then goes to, I guess at this point the match is over. I think it's just been thrown out because all the refs are dead. He goes. Dreamer goes to bury Rob in the ECW flag, but then Philip LaFawn and Doug Furness come out to stop him. Can-Am Express are here to save the day. I guess more guys from the WWF here to join up with RVD. This distracts Dreamer. Dreamer turns around. Boom! Super kick from Stevie Richards. Returning to ECW after a short stint in WCW. And Philip LaFawn, Furness, Richards, they put a trash can on Dreamer, and Rob Van Dam hits the 5-star frog splash on the trash can onto Dreamer. And that's pretty much it, right? And then it kind of eases into the next match. But I mean, all of this hullabaloo at the end. Fan of it? Not a fan of it? What'd you think?
I love that. I like the ending for it. I mean, good old Doug Furness. Who doesn't love Doug Furness, right? But
sure.
I like the ending. I mean, if you're trying to sell me on this WWF invasion or whatever you want to call it at that moment, if you're trying to sell me on it, good selling point. Tommy Dreamer, of course, fold his little heart out, already injured. The refs, all the refs getting their ass whooped though. I kind of like that touch. It's like, especially our crooked one over here. I mean, he's worse than who was that NBA ref that got caught cheating, like gambling?
Yeah. I forget his name, but
Timothy Dungy.
Sure. Wait, Dungy, isn't that
Tim Dungy?
NFL? Is that an NFL coach? Dungy?
No.
Steelers, maybe.
Oh, you're talking about the other Dungy. Yeah, I know you're talking about
multiple Dungies.
Yeah, it's a lot of Dungies. This one was a bad Dungy.
Oh, okay, the bad Dungy. Noted.
Like Brakkus.
Right. God forbid you get Brakkus and Dungy. Oof.
Oh my gosh.
It's over.
Might as well just cut it off at that point.
I mean, you do you, man. You do you. I'll use some creams. You cut it off. Well, anyways. So, yeah, this whole WWF faction, I guess. Oh, no, we should mention that at some point, because they're all beating up on Dreamer, at some point, Beulah tries to get in to make the save. I mean, I don't know what she thought she was going to do, because she just gets annihilated with a top rope double axe handle from Sabu, who's come out, just clocks her, knocks her out, and WWF wins again. I guess is the story here, but no, Sabu does this, and we just bleed right into the next match, which is a tables and ladders match. No chairs allowed, I guess. Yeah. Tables and ladders match. Sabu versus Sandman. Man, you see this on paper. It's like, oh, 2 ECW legends. Probably gonna be pretty good. Did you think it was good? Why is that?
Pacing, format. I didn't like the way it looked, it smelled, it talked, it breathed. Just was not a fan of the way the match was booked. But then again, ECW, a lot of decisions didn't make any sense, but you were more there for the show. Shane Douglas, Bam Bam, like automatically, like you say, man, hey, this Bam Bam Bigelow. And I was a huge Bam Bam fan. Like, this is like, I think this is coming off the steams of Major Pain, like a year or so later, right?
Sure, yeah.
When he's the guy coming there to beat Major Pain's ass. But no, I didn't like it. It didn't. It's a lot of missed opportunities, a couple botches. I just didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. This was like the most uncomfortable I've been watching a wrestling match. Not because of like the violence, but just the crowd was so quiet during this. Like, I talked about this in my latest episode. It was a barbed wire match between Judas Macias and Abyss.
Ooh.
And it's like, there's nothing worse than a match being actually violent when nobody gives a shit. Like, you're putting your body through all of this and everybody's like, all right, whatever. And that's that's not really the same here, because the crowd did come up for like the big spots, but like you said, there were so many blown spots. Like they were getting very ambitious with some things.
They were just trying shit like RBD.
Dude, speaking of trying shit, I got a clue. I don't know if you could see this.
No, I can see it.
So there's a spot in particular that I have questions. So right here, so we got Sandman on the outside. He has a ladder. Sabu's also on the outside at his feet. Sandman takes this ladder and he puts the bottom end in the crowd, rests it on the barricade. So we got like a teeter-totter situation. Now I'm watching this and I'm like, is the first row going to get their teeth knocked out? Like, what does he plan on doing with this ladder, with Sabu on the outside with him? So we begin to watch, and at no point does my confusion, serve itself. Like, I get more confused as time goes on. So now Sabu's on the outside. Sandman gets in the ring with the ladder on the outside on the barricade. Still very confused at what his plan is at this point, even. I'm like, what does he even think he's going to do? Leaps over the top rope. Still confused. Oh, shit. Started over. Okay, so he goes here. Boom. Leaps over the top rope. Takes the ladder and just like...
What the fuck was that?
What was his plan here? He basically propels the ladder from the barricade backwards. Like, he throws it behind his back to try to what? Just throw it at Sabu?
Barely touches him.
There was no way that was going to end well. Like, I don't know. It was just a lot of that. There was a lot of just weird, like, I don't know. And it was just, I can't emphasize enough how just like quiet the crowd was. Like all the in-between stuff. It just felt like in the build up to this, it's like Sabu threw a fireball at Sandman's face at the last pay-per-view. And it's like, oh, these guys hate each other. They're hitting each other with beer bottles. But at no point in this match was I like, oh, these guys hate each other. It just felt like a stunt show, which I don't know. I feel like this was not the match to have that kind of format, like you said.
It was no connection. Like,
yeah,
tough crowd once again. tough crowd. Like, they just silent, bro. And for most of the match, it was silent. Like, you would think it's a tables and ladders match.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Like, we know it's going to be violence, and they were just out of it, bro. And yeah, the crowd killed it for me, but the botches did too. But yeah, it just killed it for me. I was more so looking forward to the next match. Like, yeah, let's wrap this up, shorty. That was not the match at all for those two.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, like I see it on paper, Sandman and Sabu, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be awesome. But in reality, it's like two of the same poles on a magnet. Like they just don't fit with each other. Like they're the same thing, but they need like a foil of the opposite kind of person to make it work. They can't just be both. Okay.
I agree with you, but also like this wasn't their best match. Like they put on some bangers for ECW, right? This just wasn't the one for me. Like what did Randy Jackson used to say on American Idol? It's no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's no for me, dog.
This is indeed a no for me, dog. So, but yeah, tables and ladders. Like you have these like 3-foot ladders that they're throwing at each other. I do appreciate Sandman taking this ladder, doing a running plancha over the top rope with a ladder in one hand, jumping over it and just throwing it at Sabu. Like this match had like flashes of brilliance. Like, you know, a lot of table spots. I mean, by the way, so they set up for this match. There's like a table bridge on every side of the ring, like a table set up connecting the ring to the barricade. And it just felt like every time somebody went through a table, like somebody just like reset another table. Like they just kept respawning, which like I guess I appreciate for what it is, but
video game in real life.
Genuinely, that's what it was. It was very weird from time. Like people are like getting laid on tables, and the tables are just crumpling, like very weak
Holding
tables.
on for dear life.
There's one point where Sabu's laying on a table, and it's like literally a hammock, and you can see Sandman like, oh shit, I gotta get in there, climb this ladder, and then do it real quick. But it was very awkward match. There was a point though, another kind of confusing part. So we're kind of going off of the fireball from the previous show. At some point, Sabu tries to throw a fireball, but Sandman deflects it. I think, if I saw correctly, was this Dragon Ball Z or some shit? Like, like that, like, I don't know.
Who do you think it was, Piccolo? Just
cocaine's a hell of a drug, I guess. You just stop fire with your hand. I don't even know how this match ends. Oh, the match just ends at some point. There's no real like climax or anything. It's just a Sabu with a top rope Arabian face buster with the ladder onto Sabu. But yeah, mercifully it's over. Sabu gets to win. And it was a very interesting match. There was enough good in this to where I can't be like, oh, this is the worst match of all time. But yeah, just overall, the pacing was rough, I thought.
Very rough pacing, man. Very rough.
Hey, what did Taz have in his mouth in this next segment?
I'm not sure what he had in his mouth. What was it?
Or was his jaw broken? Because he comes to Joey Styles is plugging the hotline after this match. And then in the middle of it, Taz barges in, challenges Bam Bam Bigelow at the next show, at the next pay-per-view, Living Dangerously.
That's the one. That's the
Is that the show?
That's the show. Isn't that when he goes through the
I believe so. So.
That's the show then. That's the one that I saw.
We're getting there. But Taz comes in, he's like, yo, Bam Bam, I challenge you to the next match. It's like he just have a mouthful of dip, something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, we got that on the. He's like, I don't care if you're the champion or not. I want you, Bam Bam, which I could appreciate. It's not about the title, it's about the hatred, which big fan of that. Big fan of that in my wrestling.
We hated him.
But that brings us to the main event. The ECW title on the line. We got the new champion, Bam Bam Bigelow, defending against the hometown boy, Shane Douglas. A very interesting match. Like Shane is like the biggest heel in ECW, but we're in his hometown. So he's the biggest babyface in the world if you're just watching this show. Got Francine out there on crutches. I think Joey Styles said she had like fractured her pelvis. Pause. So good for Shane, I guess. But yeah, the way we got it. So Douglas had aligned himself with Rick Rude. And the whole deal was Rick was throwing challengers at Shane to keep him sharp, to keep his abilities, strong. But his latest challenger that Rick Rude threw at him was his fellow triple threat member, Bam Bam Bigelow. So I guess Bammers had enough of that faction and caught Shane off guard on ECW TV. Bam Bam powerbombs him, beats him, 1, 2, 3, new champion. Very kind of out of nowhere, but I kind of like that. I like the unpredictability of it. But yeah, this match, Bam versus Shane, it was definitely from the last match to this. It was a very welcome change of pace. It was a welcome having any pace at all. I'll say that. But I think I enjoyed this one. What'd you think about it?
Bam, bam. No. So I got a little bit ahead of myself when I mentioned Bam Bam earlier, but no, I enjoyed this. Didn't like the fact that the title just switched hands right back that quickly. Like I wanted like a little run like with Bam Bam, right?
Sure.
Very short run, but very, very good match at the end of the day. I will say that one of my big things was Shane Douglas powerbombing Bam Bam through a table.
Whew.
That, first of all, Shane Douglas is not a little guy, right? He got some meat on him, right?
He's a thick boy.
Thick boy. But this Bam Bam, Bam Bam a good three plus. We already know closer to 400, but not quite 400. He up there.
Mm-hmm.
Picking up Bam Bam and powerbomb him through the table. I popped.
The crowd popped too. I mean, it was like this match is 99% Bam Bam Bigelow, like just beating on Shane inside the ring, out of the ring. But like, it was just so well done. Like, it was kind of drawn out at some points, but like when Shane like began to make his comebacks, like the crowd was there with him. You could hear like the rumble in the crowd. Like it was working, whatever they were doing in here. This was great pacing, this match, I thought. And like even like when they're on the outside of the ring, Bam, he knocks down Shane and he turns to the crowd and you see like the whole like first like 8 rows just kind of like come to the middle to flip him off. It was just so good. Like the atmosphere of this match was fun, I thought. Like you mentioned, there's tables, Bam goes to power bomb or to moonsault Shane through the table, but Shane ends up power bombing him. Bam teased because we're fresh off of Bam Bam throwing Spike into the crowd. Like that was his whole deal. So he teased doing that to Shane, which I don't know if this crowd would have caught Shane Douglas. He's a big boy, like we mentioned. Had been a lawsuit waiting to happen, but
I'm surprised they hit one with Spike.
Yeah. So Shane Douglas, he's busted open. Bam's dominating him, and it's at the point where he's teasing, throwing him into the crowd. Triple Threat comes out. I think the stipulation was if Triple Threat interfered, like Shane would be disqualified. So that's why they didn't come out with him. But at this point, they were just afraid for his health. So they come out, but then security keeps them away. Back in the ring. Francine in there with one of her crutches, smashes Bam in the back. No effect. Bam takes the crutch, swings it at Francine like a baseball bat. Francine ducks to avoid it. And he's like, all right, you're gone. So I'll just turn to Shane Douglas. And he does this like throat. I don't even know what you call it. He like put the crutch underneath Shane's throat and just like picked him up and dropped him. It looks so good. So brutal. But then, he's beating on him. Out of nowhere, Shane Douglas with a belly to belly, but can't capitalize. The arena's rocking though at this point. At some point, Bam Bam, he takes the shard of the table, combines it with a chair and makes like a makeshift table of some sort. Goes to powerbomb Shane through it, but Shane counters belly to belly through this table. 1, 2, 3. New champion, Shane Douglas. And genuinely, one of the biggest pops I've ever heard in any wrestling show. Crazy. For Shane Douglas, of all people. Who would have thought?
You would have thought Ron Simmons had just became the first black WCW champion, bro. That was a loud pop. that was a loud pop, but I did enjoy, like, once again, pacing is everything. This one was it. Said earlier, wanted Bam Bam to, have a good run, but Bam Bam damn near dominated the whole match, which means Bam Bam Bigelow. That's what you're supposed to do. But having Triple Threat come out there and causing the distraction, Francine with the crutch, like, that was, come on, this is Bam Bam. You don't need more than a crutch. I would have liked if Bam Bam actually connected with Francine. I think that
she would have been she would have been in the rafters if he did.
Yeah, he swung for the fences on that. But no, nice little ending, I guess. Hometown guy gets the Rocky treatment. Yo, Adrian, I did it. The crowd was definitely behind him. Like, that was kind of like, I don't know if you've seen The Wedding Singer and Billy Idol is on the plane, and what's the guy that she was marrying forgot his name, but he's talking trash to Billy Idol, and the guys on the plane is like, "Hey, you can't talk to Billy that way." And then it's like a whole bunch of people come behind him. Like I kind of compare the crowd to that because they were like red hot, white hot for Shane Douglas.
Yeah, it was a very like because they're not in Philly, so it was a very different kind of ECW crowd, like all through the night, because like they were quiet for a lot of it, but they would come up for like the moments worth coming up for. And I guess this was one of those moments. It was a cool way to end the show. I thought, I don't know where we go here with Shane. Does he continue to be a babyface? Does he go back to being a dickhead? Don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. Here's a question, because I've seen a lot of discussion here recently on the old IWC of people comparing Triple H to Shane Douglas. Who do you prefer?
First of all, I don't even like the comparison.
You don't?
Nah.
They had the same hat.
Had the same hat, had the same ponytail, same tan.
Similar style, I would say.
Yeah, similar style, but just because it's similar don't mean it's alike. I mean, that's like comparing Street Fighter to Tekken. Like, not to say, hey, they're both fighting games, but the characters are similar, but they move different. No, but I don't like the comparison. Shane Douglas was who Shane Douglas was. I enjoyed him as a heel in ECW. Who was the better heel? I want to say the person that got away with a lot. And you got to think about who got away with a lot and during their heel run. And you got to go with Triple H. He got away with a lot.
Did he steal from Shane Douglas? That was the question.
Did he steal Shane Douglas' flow? Word for word? Word for word, bar for bar?
Maybe not bar for bar, but I think some of the instrumentals were pretty similar.
I mean, what? You take away the tan and the ponytail, what do you got?
I mean,
Shane Douglas.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, Triple H was a little more concerned with stealing from the NWO, with DX. But then he would steal from Shane Douglas. And this is all after he's stolen from Ric Flair and all that stuff. So, but it's whatever. I digress. Love Triple H.
Yeah, he he's a little thief, but he kind of makes it his own. I mean, Ric Flair stole from the original Nature Boy, right? So
sure did. But there's not a lot of original things in wrestling, as we mentioned earlier. So everybody's stealing from everybody. So
I mean, that's Mr. Iguana.
There really are no other iguanas in wrestling that I can think of.
No, not at all, man. I mean, who else does a gimmick like that?
Somebody's going to write me a message. Oh, there was a guy in CMLL in 1952.
He came out with a real iguana. And he used to stick his hand inside of the iguana strulo and put his hand in. Not like it.
And nothing's coming up from my quick. I just typed in iguana wrestlers, and it's only Mr. Iguana that comes up.
The OG.
So that settles that, I guess. Thank God we settled that here.
James Ellsworth.
He'd be a great iguana. He's built like an iguana, James Ellsworth.
Every time I think of him, I think of Chris Jericho putting him on the list. Someone has a loud child. Please come claim your child. It's like, you know what weird looking guys? You know what happens to weird looking guys here on Raw? Huh? What do you call them? Chinny McMahon? You know what happens? You just made the list. Chins McMahon. That's what he called him.
Chins McMahon. Oh, listen, I know that guy is just sitting in that crate right now, just thinking up of other jokes with his list. He's got his list in that crate, and his scarf. Oh, about to bust. Anyways, speaking of about to bust, I always bust when I listen to the Marks with Mike's podcast. Appreciate you, JT, hopping on the show once again, always a pleasure. Where can everybody find you guys? Check out the Marks with Mikes podcast.
Well, you can find us at your mama's local job because I am your mama's work friend. No, but you can find us, of course, everywhere at Marks with Mikes. That's MarksWithMics. That is everywhere. YouTube, IG, Book of Faces, Twitter, now known as X, the Tick of the Talks. You can find us there. That I mentioned on your favorite podcast listening apps. So whatever you like to use, highly recommend you go to Good Podcasts. That's where I like to see my people go.
There you go. Find you on MySpace. Tout.
Oh, yes. MySpace. What was the other one that people used to make their pages on? Moco Space. You find us on
Moco Space. It doesn't
Tumblr.
sound like a place for me.
Find us on Tumblr. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Oh yeah, you on the Tum? Is Tumblr still around?
Tumblr's around. It's not as active as it used to be, but man, that was a time in social media.
Had a good time. Yeah,
if you ever just wanted to dive deep in and explore the universe, go to Tumblr. Everything's there.
You know what? I'm good. I think we'll leave Tumblr in the past for now. For now,
I mean,
we'll come back.
Back then, yes, please.
Once again, thank you to JT from the Marks with Mikes podcast for joining me on this show. Always a good time with JT. Go check out the Marks with Mikes podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. All of their info is in the description below. But with that, I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is to hit that jingle, Bartholomew. WCW, ECW, WWF, who's the hardest promotion? Eric or Vince or Paulie? I think we can agree, though. Heck, Myers is the shit. All righty then. The hardest promotion battle of 1997 continues. To review the overall score, the overall standings as of November 30th, 1997, we got WCW in the lead with 34 points, ECW with 20, WWF with 4 points. So not looking good for the Fed. But we'll see. We'll see. If you are watching on YouTube, I am sharing my screen so you can follow along visually. But if you're listening in audio, I'll walk you through it as well. We'll go through all the scoring, the criteria, and all of that stuff. But the first thing we got to do is grade this show because this will feed into the score as well. ECW, November to Remember, 1997. From a scale of 0 to 100, what are we thinking, gang? I will say I would say the weakest ECW show of the year from my recollection. And I'm kind of looking through all these ECW scores thus far. As Good as It Gets got a 71. Hardcore Heaven got a 68. Hardcore Heaven. Let me just, pardon me real quick. Let me just do a quick glance Aruski at ECW Hardcore Heaven 1997 because I don't remember that being particularly great, but I also don't remember disliking it. Let me just take a look at the card here. The card will only tell you so much, but okay, that was Bam Bam Spike Dudley, but I don't think that was the first crowd surf. I think that might have been the one they fucked up. Al Snow versus RVD, a tag team, PG-13 versus the Dudleys. Kind of remember that. Tommy Dreamer versus Jerry Lawler, that's big. Sabu, Shane Douglas. Okay, so they had the Terry Funk, the triple threat main event. And this show doesn't look very good. maybe November to Remember is not the worst show of the year. Because I'm looking at this, I think it was better than Hardcore Heaven. I think I might for sure say it was better than Hardcore Heaven. So maybe I'm wrong, and I give it a 68. That feels a little generous, but I don't know. Maybe it was better than I remember. But I think it's better than 68. But I don't think it was as good as it gets, as per the name. So 69, I guess? Huh? Surprised I haven't been given more 69s. I guess 69. 69 feels okay. World War III got a 70. Yeah, you know what? 69 feels fair. Feels fair. So we'll go here, refresh this. So ECW still maintains the highest average grade in their pay-per-views slash shows. I consider like they're like DVD or not DVDs. They're like VHS releases, pay-per-views, just for the sake of this. So, but all that to say, no change here. Highest average score still falls with ECW, so they maintain those 15 points. But let's keep on looking. Best TV. So ECW, I always feel like this comes down to Raw versus Nitro. ECW, like they've had their moments, you know, like Bam Bam won the title on a TV show for ECW, Hardcore TV. It's just the TV program is very inconsistent with ECW. There still is, you know, just a lot of highlights from their super shows. Although that does provide value, I can't really set ECW above like a Nitro, for example, that has just very, you know, deep TV shows with not only good wrestling and promos, but with narratives and storylines that feed from week to week. It's just way more compelling of a product, of a TV product, both Nitro and Raw than ECW, I would say. So, and we're only a week out from the last time we looked at this from World War III, and nothing super groundbreaking has happened since then, I don't think. So yeah, I don't see any reason to really sway this. So we'll leave it at least as WCW for best TV. So they keep those 15 points. Best in ring. Yeah, it's still not ECW based on this show. I would say, but both in ring and out of ring, right? These are two different categories. We're tracking both of them as WCW, and I think we maintain that. I think they just both. I've said it in most of the previous episodes that I've done this. WWF is very top heavy. They got some really good stuff going, but it's kind of few and far between. Whereas WCW, I feel, is just a more well-rounded product. And it just has more variety. It has quality in that variety. Not a lot of misses from WCW. Not yet. We're still in 97, so we're still running hot. So I would say all of this stays with WCW. So no changes to the scoreboard yet. All that to say. But let's move on to the best section. Best match of the year. Bret Austin, WrestleMania 13. Nothing new. No, since World War III or on this show. Nothing was the best match of the year for sure. So we'll leave it as Bret and Austin. Wrestler of the year, we're tracking Eddie Guerrero. Who from ECW would even like be in competition? You could throw like an RVD in there, maybe. Shane Douglas. No, not Shane Douglas. I don't know. Candido. No. Taz. Taz, in my opinion, is the best thing going in ECW from pretty much all fronts, I would say. I do enjoy a lot of what RVD does. But at this point, I don't think he's in a position to be the best among the three companies in really any facet. Not yet. Not yet. So with that being said, I don't think anybody is a better wrestler than Eddie Guerrero right now in 1997. So we'll leave it as Eddie. Best character / storyline of the year. We're tracking Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, we all know the deal, man. He's stunning everybody. We're in the midst of his feud with The Rock here. Also earlier in 97, all of the stuff with Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation. A little feud with The Undertaker in there with a pretty good match on a pay-per-view. The Royal Rumble stuff. And obviously his match with Bret at WrestleMania. He's had a very good year. Stone Cold as a character. He's carrying the World Wrestling Federation right now. And that alone is a testament to how good his character is. And pretty much anything he touches turns to gold. Any seconds of TV time for Steve Austin is the best TV time of that week. You know what I mean? For that company. So yeah, we're going to leave it as Stone Cold. I mean, ECW has got some pretty good characters. Nothing super strong in my opinion right now. Maybe again, Taz is a very strong character. Shane Douglas is a pretty good character, I guess. He's just, I don't know. He's not better than Stone Cold, though. Outside of that, I can't really think of anybody that would be in contention. Dudley Boys, maybe. Joe Gertner, sure. I think Joe Gertner is a sneaky good character. Bill Alfonso, even. But yeah, just not as good as Stone Cold. Best segment of the year, we're tracking Jerry Lawler's debut at WrestlePalooza. I don't think any segments really. Trying to think of anything that happened on Raw or Nitro since then. Nothing as good as that, I don't think. Go back and listen to the WrestlePalooza episode if you have not already. We get into how just wild that shit was from start to finish. Seeing Jerry Lawler in an ECW ring, just sensational stuff. So we'll leave that as ECW for now. So no changes yet, but we're moving on to the worst section. Worst match of the year. What are we thinking? Right now we're tracking the WWF Bad Blood 1997 flag match as the worst match of the year. Sabu Sandman. What are we thinking? They're in contention. If there was like a bottom 5, I think Sabu Sandman would definitely be in there, but are they the bottom of the bottom? Maybe, dude. Maybe. Hold on. Let's think about it for a second. What made that Bad Blood flag match so bad? There wasn't really a story going into it. You had Vader, who was a newly turned babyface, didn't have a lot of momentum behind him. He's already lost all of his mystique. The Patriot, Delbert Wilkes, teaming with Vader to take on Brett and Bulldog, who had just lost one of their best friends earlier that day, and Brian Pillman. Brett's probably already checked out because he knows he's going to WCW. So does Bulldog. No stakes involved. The flag match stipulation didn't make sense. You could win by pinfall. A goofy finish. Just an incohesive match with no rhyme or reason to it. It was bad. But Sabu Sandman. I implore each and every one of you to watch this match if you have not seen it. It's the most awkward I've ever felt watching a wrestling match. The crowd does not give a I mean, they pop for the moments when Sandman climbs the ladder and he jumps off. They're like, whoa, holy shit. But then it's like right back to just silence, dude. It's just such an eerie kind of feeling. And a lot of blown spots. Just not a very good, I didn't believe that they wanted to hurt each other. It was not good. Do we throw that at number 1, dude? We're going to have a finale episode at some point, and maybe we'll have to revisit that. I'm thinking, man. The other thing too, man, that flag match was such an afterthought match, whereas Sabu and Sandman, 2 Mount Rushmore guys, I said it in the episode, 2 of the top guys in the history of ECW. A dream match. And it just didn't live up. But it should have lived up. A co-main event of a pay-per-view. The flag match might have been too, but you know what I mean. You know what, dude? I think we're going to do it. Tables, TL match. No, tables, ladders. Tables and ladders match. Sabu versus Sandman. Drop the font size here. Bang, bang, boom. Look at that. ECW loses 3 points. WWF gains 3 points. Wow. Feels like that's the first swing in a while. All right. Again, we might revisit that. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. having this tables and ladders match being worse than the Bad Blood flag match. Or previously, we had the WrestleMania main event, Sid versus Undertaker on there. Is that worse than both of them? Or is there a match I'm overlooking? Maybe something from TV that I maybe just didn't remember, or another thing I just didn't remember. Let me know in the comments. Hit me up, Discord, whatever it is. All right. Worst wrestler of the year, Prince Iaukea. You know, I fed this to the Discord. I was like, guys, I feel like there's got to be somebody worse than Prince Iaukea in 1997. And everybody was like, nope, I don't think so. So I'm like, you know what? I guess not, right? It just reaffirms me. Another one where I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Was any wrestler worse in 1997 than Prince Iaukea? No one that comes to mind. Anyone from this show? You could throw a Shane Douglas in there. Just kidding. Maybe. Who else is on this show? Fucking Dudley's. Let me just look through my notes real quick, just to make sure I'm not like overlooking somebody. Sandman, Sabu. No, most of what they did was good, so I'm not gonna throw it on them. Dreamer, no. Mikey Whipwreck, maybe. I don't think he's like actively bad though. He's just like who gives a shit. Yeah, no one that comes to mind. We'll leave it as Prince Iaukea for now. Worst character / storyline of the year, Brian Pillman, Cucks Goldust. Yep, we're gonna leave it there. And then Miss NWO for worst segment of the year. We're gonna leave it there. Bang, bang, boom. That is where we are at. So we had a slight shift here of 3 points between WWF and ECW. As the standings stand as of right now, that's not a sentence, but the standings are WCW still in the lead with 34, ECW in second with 17, WWF with 7. So WWF is not as dire in a position as they were coming into this, but who knows? But we could see some swings here, you know, between now and the rest of the year. We only got, I think, 2 more shows after this. Yeah, so we got WWF In Your House, D-Generation X, and WCW Starrcade. And then, of course, the finale where we will give a more in-depth look at the entire year. Maybe see some things we overlooked. Maybe look at some lists that others have compiled that maybe give another perspective that maybe I just haven't seen before. And of course, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. That'll be a live show we do here in a few months. I'll put more info about that on the social medias, X and whatnot. So make sure you stay tuned to that. But with that, I think that is about all Daddy has for you guys today. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Love you. Big smooches all over that cute face of yours. Mwah. Mwah. I'm hard.
Yeah. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can